So what I've seen a lot of kind of younger people, I think, that are younger in the business, as far as maybe not younger in age, but kind of younger in the business, makes the mistakes where they're like, their focus is diverted. So they just want to find a good deal. They don't care what market it's in. So they'll buy a deal in Texas, and they'll go buy a deal in Missouri, and then go buy a deal in Georgia, and then a deal in, wherever, Iowa. And then they're just kind of bouncing all over the country. And they go into these smaller secondary markets. So there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but it's really hard to do, to manage all the assets when I have it in two separate markets and they're really close to each other. It's hard for me to do that right now. I can only imagine how hard it is if you don't know what you're doing because you're relatively inexperienced and you got 4 different properties at 4 different sites and maybe 2 or 3 different management companies on top of that. It's really kind of scattered. And then worse than that, if you go buy a deal, say in Topeka, Kansas, there's only so many apartments in Topeka, Kansas. And so if you do this business right, the brokers control the deal. So if I do a good job, I buy that deal, I do everything the same and do, and I get really good marks from that broker, there's not a next deal right behind it to go monetize that goodwill I just created by doing the first transaction. Or if you buy like in San Diego, or you buy in Texas, Dallas, or Atlanta, some of these markets that got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of apartment units, there's a lot of opportunity. So these relationships I built, get monetized over and over and over again. A good example was, I said I closed the deal yesterday. That was the 9th transaction I did with this one broker, right? So I built that goodwill up 4 or 5 years ago, and then I just monetize it over and over and over again. So when there's a deal, I get that call, and that's what I can do in Dallas I couldn't do in Topeka, Kansas. So I think that's a mistake I've seen some people make. If you really want to be serious about this business and grow into a company, I'd focus on a market or 2 and make sure, I'd probably say, to have at least 1 million people in the MSA or for the markets that you're focusing on, so you can kind of repeat and monetize that relationship over and over again.